know how we are down there. You understand?
What are you saying? Down where? What is this unclean soul doing in my divine space?
Half-baked evangelist.
Oh, calm down. Respect me say I will respect you. That hole in your mouth.
Man in Love is the movie I'm reviewing, and this movie is executive produced and produced by Frederick Leonard. The director of this movie is still Frederick Leonard and Desmond Anyanwu. The story of this movie is by Miriam Ogbonna and written by Treasure Pascal. Three main cast of this movie are Freddie being played by Frederick Leonard, we have Ese being played by Okolie, and Victoria being played by Chioma Okafor. So let's dive into the recap of this movie. I'm going to make it short. Freddie was engaged to Victoria for a while now. Now Victoria is a very devoted, committed Christian. She wants nothing to do with worldly pleasures or worldly desires. Now Freddie, seeing that this is who she is, decided to engage her, so to reduce the way she does things with spirituality and Christianity and stuff like that. Victoria was practically an assistant to Jesus Christ. Freddie decided to suggest certain things to minimize the way Vicky does her things in the relationship by suggesting date, dinner, picnic, anniversaries, conversations that are normal outside of Christianity or Bible verses or scriptures. Well, that did not go well with Vic or Victoria at all. Anything conversation with Victoria is always ending with the scriptures. Because of this, Freddie became frustrated and decided to look elsewhere for companionship. His friend advised him. They went out when they met this lovely Olosho on the street, became familiar, they had one or thing. Freddie now became very close to Essay, extended friendship to her. They became friends for a while. After a while, the friendship became to develop into feelings for Freddie. Freddie now confessed his feelings to Essay. Essay rejected the relationship, claiming that she is an Olosho and Olosho doesn't fall in love. She actually gave excuses in regards to why she was refusing the proposal of Freddie. Freddie insisted and Ese accepted that relationship. Ese followed Freddie to his house and were having their cool time. Then the encounter between Victoria and Ese happened. That was a really brutal one. The exchange of Bible verses and insult happened between these two ladies. These two ladies had another encounter again. The fight happened. Freddie, on the other hand, became confused on who he really loves between the two ladies. The overly Christian girlfriend or fiancé who had no regards for his feelings, personal relationship, interaction, or is it the retired Olosho who really take care of his needs and have conversations with him? So the ladies also gave him an ultimatum to choose between the two of them because both of them cannot continue fighting over him. I think he made the decision by going in for Ese, who is the retired Olosho. So he then ended up making a call across to Vic, telling her that he has finally made his choice, apologized to her, and finally wedded Ese. So this is how this movie goes, and I hope this recap kind of gave you an idea what this movie is all about. What I like about this movie, let me start by saying I love a lot about this movie. Let's start with the message, the storyline, and the lesson in this movie. The storyline, I think, was written perfectly. It was delivered perfectly. The message was delivered perfectly. The lesson was taught well as well. You could pick one or two things out of this movie. A lot actually you could pick out of this movie. The story, of course, between the two women, one being overly Christian of spirituality, taking all the way over the top, and of course an retired Olosho who found love. Message is clear: a retired Olosho can also find a love. Just because you are condemned does not mean you do not have use, or you cannot find your purpose, or you can't find happiness. The message was clear. The lesson, of course, is also that you need to find a balance in your life. Just because you are a devoted Christian does not mean you neglect the other aspects of your life: relationship, family, life in general, perspective, life in general, how you think about life. You know, you Christianity thinking cap, or also have your logical thinking cap on. Relatable you need to be with friends, family, relationship, marriage, you know, things like that. And I think this movie illustrated everything like that. So message, lesson, storyline, take for this movie. Another thing I love about the movie, let's get to the acting, performances of each character in this movie, and directing of this movie. This is what I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about everything I love about this movie. I'll start with my top performances from Chioma, Okafor, and Uzu Okolie. I think I got the name right. Yeah, they played Victoria and Issei. Look at the top performances in this movie. I think the two ladies, or the two women, hold the movie together. Their acting was top notch. Chioma is a very talented actress. I never saw that she could act something like this. I think she's one of the versatile actresses when it comes to YouTube movies. She's really good. She's not known for only acting certain roles. I have seen her act different roles in movies, from a psychopath to a normal girl, a sales girl, devoted Christian in this movie, Olosho. She did perfectly. Look, I've seen her act different roles, and I think each roles that she plays in each movies, she definitely have been nailing all of those roles. So this movie, she played Victoria, and she did perfectly well. Her lines delivery on point, her gesture on point, her scripture delivery was on point, her costume was on point. Look, I love the way she delivered her role in this. I don't think anyone would have played this role. I wouldn't have thought she would have actually played this role this perfectly. I think the person who casted her did so well. And we talk about Uzu Okolie. See, she is a legend. She has been acting more than a decade now, and this role she did perfectly well, switching from pidgin to perfect English. And the English is not just normal English, like the English accent is so on point. Look, she did well. She did perfectly well. And her, you know, costume in regards to Olosho, I mean, she is in her, you know, late 30s in real life. So looking at her body structure and the way she dressed in the movie was good. She held the role to her chest. She delivered it so well. And Frederick Leonard, I think he also did his part. I didn't see a spectacular performance because the way he acted was okay in this movie. And of course, the supporting cast in this movie also did splendid well. His best friend he was acting with also did, you know, he did very well. So when it comes to acting, performance, directing, I think everyone played their role very well. This movie is a must watch. Another thing I love about this movie is the location of this movie. Oh yeah, they did everything. They showed us every location that was spoke about in this movie. They showed us a location of church. We all know how Vic was a devoted Christian, so definitely we should have seen her in church. We definitely saw her in church at the end of the movie. That was really good. So we saw a church location. We also saw Olosho, which is, you know, a street hawker. So we saw prostitutes on the street. That was outside shot. That was good in the night as well. So that was really good. And the way Ese was interacting with her fellow Oloshos, that was a very good scene as well. And also saw an office location. Of course, Freddie is a hard worker, so we saw an office. And the location of Ese's house, I mean, she is not really a flamboyant Olosho, so we saw how poor her apartment was. That was also a very good attached to the storyline. And Freddie's house, I think we've seen that location in YouTube movies before, but the house look really different. But I mean, if you are into YouTube movies, you should know that this house have been used a couple of times before, so that was really a good touch as well. His house look all heavily and nice and cool, so that was a good. So the locations of the movies were really good, were okay. Cinematography was okay as well. And the last two things that I will talk about, which I also like, is the song in the background of the movie. The theme song was cool. It was different. It's not the normal one we've been hearing on YouTube movies, so that was a different song. I don't know if it's YouTube song or the wrote is a new song for this movie. That was a good touch as well. And lastly, their costume was super okay. It's costume I'm talking about Ese and Vic. Their costume was super okay. So yeah, basically those are the things I like about this movie. What I don't like about this movie, I'll start with the frame. The frame of this movie is bad. They didn't show this movie in the normal YouTube frame with that 16.9. I think they shot this movie in 21.9 or even lesser. I don't know what happens to the other part of the frame. Why is it black? Why is the why? What is the producer? Yeah, Frederick, Leonard, you are the producer, director. Are you the one? Are you going to be sleeping at the other frame, the other part that you made it black? Why did you make the frame like that? Why? If not for the fact that the storyline is good or close to very good, why are you holding the other part of the frame? Why was the cameraman, why was the movie shot in that frame? Why was it shot in that frame? In some scenes you could see that they were cutting some of the actors' head off a bit. They were out of shots. Why? What happens to the other frame? I was so disappointed. This was a very perfect movie. I mean, will we go to cinema to go and be watching a very small frame like this instead of, I don't know how. Guys, come on now. That was, please, Frederick, Leonard, if in case in the future you see this my review, I beg of you, shoot your movies in the normal frame 16.9. I beg. Leaving the empty space and making it black doesn't make sense. And some of your scenes you were cutting your head off, it doesn't make sense. Shoot the movie in the normal frame. Or if you are going to make it smaller, making it 21.9 or even lesser, make sure all your scenes, everybody is fitted in the frame. That was really bad. I don't know why it was like that. It was just annoying for me. I don't know who you guys are keeping the black spaces for. I did not like that at all about this movie. So the frame was bad for me. Another thing I didn't like was what happens to making the movie bright. What happens to it? No. Ace's hair, is it dye purple or pink? What happens to making bright colors in the movie? This was supposed to be a bright, colorful movie. It was dim, it was dark, and color grading of this movie was in shambles. I did not like it and had to increase my brightness to enjoy the movie, and that was not cool. Some movies deserve to have dim color grading. Some movies do not, especially this one. This was not a sad story or what, just a city movie that deserved colorful, cinematography to make the movie more beautiful. The color grading of this movie was disappointing. It was too dark. This movie is just good because of the storyline and the actors delivering what they were supposed to do. If not that, no, it was paining my eyes. I have to, no, please, Frederick, Leonard, I beg, sit down and make sure that movies that deserve to be bright and colorful should be like that. Movies that needs to be dark, dim and whatnot should be like that. This movie deserves to be bright and colorful. I beg. So yeah, that's another thing I didn't like. Third thing I didn't like about this movie was the dialogues between Ese and her customers. That's, the guys who were patronizing her. The guys who were patronizing her were missing their lines a lot. A lot of mistakes were being done. I took notice of that. Yes, so yeah. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal if you want to future produce movies for cinema, Netflix, and all that, streaming platforms. Please take notice of your supporting cast. Their lines were missing, and they were distorting Ace's line as well. They were kind of making her to make mistakes and not really flow. If you watch closely, I know some of you might have missed that. I am reviewing the movie because I have to review and enjoy the movie. So yeah, I took notice of that as well. So yeah, those lines were the two guys were just disturbing her in terms of delivering their lines together. So yeah, it wasn't that deep, but it was deep. Last but not the least of this movie that I did not like is the costume of the groom, Frederick, Leonard, abeg, Freddie. Freddie, please. The wedding scene, it was perfect. I loved it, but your costume was bad. I don't know how you combine yellow footwear with your white suit. I don't know how you think I will not see it. I saw that. That's why I review movies, to see things that a lot of people do not see. So that was bad. I really did not. I didn't know why you dressed like that for your wedding. And yes, those are the things I did not like about this movie. To summarize everything about this movie, let's start with some funny scenes that were really important to me. You already know I love comedy scenes in movies so much, so when it's included in movies, I always give props to them as well. So this movie had some comedy scenes in it. The beginning of the movie itself was a comedy scene between Freddie and Vic. That was really nice touch right there. Vic did a spectacular job on this project. Kudos to her. So that was a good scene. Another scene that I gave props to was the wedding scene. Most times when it comes to YouTube movies, we don't see wedding scene at all. We don't even see. All we see is wedding pictures that are photoshopped, or wedding. We see the actors in wedding outfits taking pictures. So this wedding scene at the beach with crowd, with actors, gosh, that was really lovely. At the beach side with people, look, that was an effort being put in place. So I give it to Frederick on that. That was a very thoughtful scene. I love it. I appreciate when they do little things to make a movie worth watching. So I really appreciate that a lot. And another thing that I give props to is the church scene. A whole church dedicated to just one or two scenes. That was really nice. Ese and her pastor, that was a very fantastic job, well done. The two final scenes that I love as well is the scene with Ese and her customers. That was really nice, giving us a feel that she is really an Olosho. So she had about 2 or 3 customers. They showed us how she interacted with them. That was a very good touch. We were not just imagining that she's an Olosho. She was doing the job. We were seeing it. So that was good. And finally, my favorite was the fight between Victoria and essay. That was epic. When they had their first call, I thought that was going to be it. I was thinking they needed to fight because two girls fighting over a man is a must. So when I saw the scene between Vic and Essay fighting, that was a good one. I was expecting that scene. So when I saw the scene, I wasn't disappointed. So that was one of my favorite scenes as well. So in general, it's a very good watch. And on that note, I'm giving this movie a 8/10. Is it a must watch? Yes, it is a must watch. And I think I'll rate the movie 18. If you're 18 and above, you should watch it. You shouldn't watch this movie with kids because it has some vulgar words in it, and of course the olosho scenes, yeah. So if you are 18 and above, you can't watch this movie. So this is a good movie with a touch of good lessons here and there, good message here and there, as well as a very spice comedy inside. So if you haven't watched A Man in Love, please go and watch it. It's on Frederick Leonard YouTube channel. And of course, guys, thank you so much for supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it, guys. This started as a hobby, but I'm beginning to love it more. The more I review movies, the more I love it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and supporting my videos, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you want me to review a movie, you want my thought on certain YouTube movies or Nollywood movies in general, please leave them in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, share, and I'll see you all in my next movie review.